So today we're going to be doing a review on the Helcim Payments Company hardware review. So this is going to be talking about this terminal over here, and we're going to go over all of the features and benefits and some of the important details that we want to cover. Now, as we go through this, there is one really important thing I always want to note, that this one has no contracts. So if you are in a position where you want to make sure you're not dealing with, renewing contracts all the time, so you have a one-time payment option, or you can do a 12-month payment installation. And again, that means you get to keep the terminal. When we go over the terminal, there are a lot of different functions and features, such as in-person payments, of course. With those in-person payments, you can tap, you have the chip option, you have contactless, and you can also manually enter in your card information. Now, you can also split payments as well too, which is really nice. You also have the opportunity to print and email receipts. And one really quick side note too is when you order your actual terminal, you do get 2 rolls of receipt paper included, one inside of the actual device and then one additional one as well. Now, you can also save and create customers into your terminal directly, which is really great. So you don't always have to be going onto the computer to do this. So if you are more portable, such as like at a farmer's market or anywhere else that's not necessarily tied to a desk, you could do these things inside of the actual terminal in real time, or you could even do them on your website and then come back and still show up on the terminal itself. So you can have all of your customers saved. Now, you also can manage your inventory directly on the terminal as well. So this gives you a lot more freedom and control when it comes to your items in the store, making sure that when you are selling items that they are getting removed from your inventory. Now, you can also apply discounts directly on the terminal, so you don't have to, again, go back and forth between any other software to be able to get this all taken care of. You could either do by percentages, by dollar amounts, or whatever works best for you. You can also set your taxes in here as well too. So this is really nice and easy, especially if your taxes are changing at any point throughout the year. You can do that directly here in the terminal. As well as your invoices, you can actually create invoices on here. So if you got a customer and you want to make sure you are having that invoice set together, you could do it all on here. Now, you can also add notes inside of the terminal as well too. So if you need to put any notes for your customers or your transactions, you can put them on there so you can reference them in the future. Now, you can also have tips on here as well, and you could do it where you have predetermined tips percentages. So that way, when it shows up on the screen, they can choose those as options, or you can have the tips option toggled off. Now, you can also see your most recent transactions on the terminal itself. So if you are in real time wanting to get some of your information, you can do that. You can also cross set up your terminal with the web tools as well. We kind of talked about this a little earlier. Same thing with all the other items we talked about. You could either do it directly on the terminal if you absolutely needed to or wanted to. And you can also go onto the website web browser to actually have all these things set up, and they will interconnect as well for you. So it's really nice. It's really convenient that you can kind of jump back and forth with whatever option works best for you at any given time. You can also review your reporting as well, so you can see how you've been doing for the day, for the week, for the month, whatever items you need to check on and in real time. You can also create a one login for your team to be able to go in, or you can create separate logins if you want to be able to maybe track things a little bit more clearly. You can have several levels of security, such as a PIN, a password, or a 2-factor authentication. Now, as far as the POS itself, you can actually have a number pad directly for quick payments. So this will be where you're just typing in the actual numbers. You also have an items tab for inventory control and direct product ads. So this is going to be nice if you have multiple different items and you want to keep track of the inventory. You can have also the option to save orders to be paid at a later time with comment sections. So if you have transactions that need to happen later, but need to add them in now, you can kind of do that as well, which is really nice. And then also too, we talked a little earlier, but you can actually add notes to an order, such as a PO number. So if you're wanting to keep track of things with like a purchase order, you could do that. You could also enter in custom prices for items in the inventory. So that way you can actually change those up if you needed to, add some cost or, decrease a cost, such as like a discount. And then you can also easily add multiple of the same item. So if you have certain products that maybe people are buying in quantities, like 2, 3, 5, 10, whatever those are, you can actually go ahead and easily add those in as a multiple. Now, I had the opportunity to kind of mess with the terminal here for a little bit and go through all the settings and the features, just so I can get you a little bit of a better understanding of some of the benefits of the actual terminal itself physically. All right, so from here, I'm just kind of showing the sides of it. There's the power button, there's the section to charge as well too, and then you saw saw over there, there's the chip, there's the swipe section, and then the back of the actual terminal. There is, of course, at the very top, the NFC or the contact list, and then that's where the receipt paper is going to go for you to be able to quickly be able to print something out for the customer. One of the biggest things for me was being able to set brightness display. So if you want to make it a little bit brighter or a little bit darker, depending on the settings in your business. You can also set auto sleep anywhere from 2 minutes to 120 minutes. So that way it's not just sitting on the entire time using up any battery. Now, this is also Wi-Fi ready, so you can actually have this a little bit more portable. But if you want to make it fully portable, it is also 4G LTE ready with a mobile data plan. So that's really nice if you're like at that farmer's market or in places that are a little bit more remote. Now, as far as the default setting, you can actually have this as your number pad if you want to just have people putting in the numbers. Or you can have an items list if you have particular items that maybe are the best sellers or the items that you are exclusively selling. So you get to actually have a little bit of control on how that's going to look like when you have the terminal going on. You also have for your receipts, you have your basic information, or you can do itemized options. So it just really depends on which way either you want to go or your customers want to go. And then you can also toggle on a merchant copy of your receipt if you want to keep track of it on there manually with an actual physical receipt. And then you can also toggle on auto print as well. So there's some really great settings in the backend that you have a little bit of control over, so you can have this set up a little bit more customized to you. Now, if you do not already have a Helcim account and want to go ahead and get started, we're going to have a link for you in the show notes down below to go ahead and jump you right to the landing page to go ahead and create your account. And then you can go ahead and order your new hardware to start accepting payments anywhere you go. Now, if you're curious on the questions it's going to ask you when it comes to setting up your brand new account, we got you covered. Check out our video right over here on screen to see all the questions it will ask you for your small business to start accepting new payments.